皆さんこんにちは。皆さんにちょっとですね、見ていただきたい、動画といいますか、音声会話なんですけれども、聞いていただきたいものがあります。最近ですね、ルーマニアで大統領選挙が行われまして、そこでロシアの介入があったということで、選挙が無効とされてしまいましたが、その当事者である、大統領候補の方がですね、これは、ルーマニアに Nato の基地を置こうとして、で、それを私は、政策として反対しているんだと。その後ろには銀行家がいて戦争を延々と続けるからだと。そういった政策が気に入らないということがあり、私の選挙は無効化されたというふうにおっしゃっています。そういったお話を今世界中に広めようと、この大統領候補の方はですね、いろいろ発信してるんですけれども、最近、その話題でマイケル・ヨンさんがこの方にインタビューしました。ぜひその会話を皆さん見ていただきたいと思います。ちょっとだけですね、会話をした感想をマイケルさん本人に聞きたいと思います。Could you tell us about the conversation with Mr. Georgescu?
Oh, yeah. There we go. Oh, yeah. Had an interesting conversation yesterday with Kalin Georgescu, who he was running for president in Romania, which borders Ukraine. And I've been to Romania several times. I was there right after Ceausescu was killed. He was a former dictator. It was a very terrible time in Romania, and quite bloody, and also very communist. I mean, that's all you need to know about. It's unbelievable. So anyway, 35 years later, Mr. Georgescu is running for president. Of course, there's a war going on in Ukraine now, and the United States and others wish to build a large NATO base there in Romania to further the war. And this is part, ultimately, of the greater Israel project. Whether people will admit it or not, that's just what it is. And or at least that's a huge component of it. And Mr. Georgescu doesn't want that base. And so now they're accusing him of now keep in mind, I don't know him personally. I've never met him. I've spoken with him several times on the phone, and that's it. And nothing before even 4 days ago, right? So it's all quite new because the election was 14 or 15 days ago. And so this is all quite new that the court threw out his election. And so this is a big deal for Romania, for Europe, for the United States, for Japan as well. If your courts can just throw out elections, use your imagination how that plays out.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
それでは皆さん実際の会話を聞いてみてください。
I'm talking from Argentina with Kalin Georgescu, who's in Romania now, and there have been some very serious developments in Romania in regard to the recent election. So I want to step out of this and let Mr. Georgescu explain exactly what happened. This is very important for the United States, for Europe, and especially for Romania.
Indeed. Thank you very much, Michael. Thank you for having me. Thank you for this opportunity to say to everybody what's happened. Beside that, all the media, international media, of course, is writing about this subject. But what's happening in Romania right now? The judge of the Constitutional Court still have the power to do justice to democracy in Romania. Otherwise, they will set an international precedent. And this is my point, as I said to you before, because it could be a precedent for everybody right now. This precedent is already analyzed today in the European Commission, which asked also for a statement from the Venice Commission. If democracy fails in front of the Constitutional Court, then in this case, any country leader will thus be able to extend his mandate in an immoral and illegitimate way. No one will trust European democracy anymore, and this is the problem. Democracy, what I want to say is democracy is going to be just a slogan, because in Romania, when 9 judges get to vote and decide for 19 million people, that is no longer a democracy. From that moment, it becomes actually a dictatorship. And this is a point which has happened today in Romania. We have experienced dictatorship in Europe before 1989, and we don't want to go back to those times. If Romanian democracy fails, the entire world democratic system is at risk. Why? Because Romania is part of European Union, part of NATO, and is one of the most important allies of the United States, as everybody knows, in Eastern Europe. If international community just stays indifferent and enjoys the horrible political show that is playing now in Romania, this will lead to an international legal precedent where a constitutional court will take the power of the votes from the people and give it always to the politicians. So the politician actually dictate to the 19 million people, and this is a problem. So that will be the end of democracy as we know it worldwide. You can imagine, Michael, that this could also happen in the United States, also can happen everywhere. So there is nothing to joke about it. Problem is very serious in Romania today. The world is changing, and old politics must respect and embrace the new political trend that is worldwide. We know talk about peace, not war. We talk about every country inner prosperity. Is like President Abraham Lincoln said, we need a government of the people, by the people, for the people, that will bring peace and prosperity to all of us. So this is my point. And of course, I said in the end the statement of Lincoln, because this does mean for us the flag which we had for democracy, but seems to be failed in the moment when nobody internationally had any reaction. I'm saying official, of course. Right now, after, let's say, we discuss 12 days, more than 12 days today. Today is almost Thursday. And no, actually, there are more. There are 13 days today. So tomorrow will be 2 weeks from the moment when the Constitutional Court decide, 9 people decide to stop the vote, to stop the election, and to destroy everything in front of the 19 million people. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I mean, I was up very late last night making 15 questions for you. You just answered most of them.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm going to help you get many interviews in the United States, because what you're saying is so important to us in the United States as well, and down here in Argentina. Let me ask you one question.
Please.
Thank you, sir. Do you have any evidence or insight into whether organizations like Soros-funded NGOs played a role in influencing this decision?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. The evidence is from 1990. So in the first days after the revolution of 1989, the first person from abroad arrived in Romania was George Soros, who actually captured in the most, how I can say, manipulating system, all the, let's say, all the grassroots, all the NGOs, and actually the entire system, in a sense, to conduct everything in his style, in order to how I can say, to conduct the democracy to the interest of the globalist system. So right now in Romania, after 35 years, it's just a monopoly of the oligarchs. All the economy is just a monopoly of them, of the big corporations. The Romanian entrepreneurs, they are very small, very, how I can say, put in the corner, and the bigger entrepreneurs, which of course we have several of them, they are pay taxes and taxes and taxes non-stop. So with other words, is not any predictability for a Romanian investor who actually take the risk in order to invest in any business whatever he wants. So in other words, the local market, the market is not free. And this is a big problem in Romania today.
That's very important. You also have the United Nations, you have the UNHCR and the IOM, the International Organization for Migration, appear to be flooding Romania with so-called migrants and an invasion. Where are these so-called migrants coming from?
So they are coming also in the United States from everywhere, yeah, particularly from Asia, right? It's a huge immigration which is coming in Romania. So the whole Europe is, how I can say, is under this attack. Of course, we have to take care about them, but you have to understand that it's about the culture and it's invasion of the migration, which you have to face today. So our culture is in danger, and of course, moreover, our Romanian people, they are working outside, which is terribly bad. It's a system who actually destroyed the country and pushed the people to work in Europe instead to work in their own country. Why? Because they have, first of all, they have no jobs. It's absolutely the salaries, they're absolutely miserable on this point. And we discuss about a huge percentage of poverty in Romania is more than 20% poverty, which does mean people with less than $2 per day.
Now, Masako Ganaha, the Japanese journalist, and I have traveled extensively around Europe looking at the invasion, because you used the exact correct term. This is an invasion that's done by invaders. We went to your neighbors. We went to Austria. We went to Hungary. Austria, of course, has let them in. Hungary has not, very wisely. We've gone.
Yeah, it's very wisely. Yeah. Hungary tried to control control the system, but because why? Because he has a prime minister who was devoted for his people for this reason.
Yeah, we like him. He's strong. We like that. He's not a strong man insofar as a dictator. He's just a strong patriot. And,
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
And so we've gone to Ireland, though, where it's weak, and now there's very large camps, many, like about 300 camps of different sizes. A few of them are quite large, filled. And we've gone to Ireland and looked at this. They're from all the invaders are from all over Africa and Asia, Afghanistan, Pakistan, Nigeria, the whole works. That's Ireland. They're about 1/3 of the people there in Ireland are now from abroad. And what about Romania? What percentage of the people in Romania now do you estimate are newly arrived invaders?
Well, Ukrainian, there are a lot. We discussed about more than 2 million. So, and also, I don't know the number exactly, but I can tell you that the majority of the companies are working with immigrants. So this is a problem.
This is
I have not done evidence particularly in this point right now, but there are a lot of people. Anyway,
Right.
beside that, the most important point is that we're faced with a huge attack to the democracy, exactly as I said before, and we are under the attack of that. So actually, after 35 years, with a huge risk of the young people in 1999, is the same situation after 35 years. And only because they have other interests instead of peace, instead of to set up the country in a prosperity manner. Yeah.
Mr. Georgescu, you seem to have been targeted because you wish Romania to remain Romanian, like Hungary wishes to remain Hungarian. And you don't want this large NATO base there, which could obviously draw attack directly from Russia into Romania. Is that why they nullified the election?
Honestly speaking, it's true, because in a sense that my project for Romania and for the region had just one name. It has just one name, peace. And they don't want peace. This is the only project which I have, peace. And of course, I have a particular project for Romania, call it food, water, and energy, in a sense to be capable to administrate ourselves, to finance ourselves, and to have a niche in Europe regarding food, water, and energy, and of course to be ours, these resources. And they don't want to have that, and particularly they don't want to have peace. Who? The international institutions, and of course the oligarchs, which still they have the power here right now in Romania.
You mentioned yesterday in one of our phone calls about the bankers, and many of my listeners are very well aware of the banker aspect of this. For instance, many will have read The Creature from Jekyll Island from G. Edward Griffin. Yeah. And they know the Bank of International Settlements are, that they know how powerful the central bankers are. And you mentioned specifically that this is partly a banker's war. Can you elaborate?
Yeah, of course, because behind any war, there are the bankers. It's absolutely clear. And they have interest of the investment. We discuss about a lot of investment, and we discuss about also to clean a lot of things, to clean the corruption, to clean the money, which in fact is just a test, is just a computer machine. Is not cash. You know very well. Everybody knows that. So we discuss about a huge interest, which of course is not accordingly with my project, which is about peace. And we know very well the insistence, which particularly is coming from Macron in Europe, in order to have war. We know very well about that. So they are just concentrating in order to continue the war. Why? Because it's a huge banking interest behind. The war is need a lot of investment. Everybody knows. We discuss about billions and trillions, in fact, of dollars for the war. But the economy is totally destroyed. Exactly as I said, small and medium enterprises that are under the water. The poverty is huge. The inflation, the instability, it's enormous everywhere in Europe, in France, in Germany, in UK. Look what's happening in UK. Yeah, in Belgium, everywhere. In Canada, by the way. Why? Because they invest in this stupid war, which is not ours. It's not our business.
Yes, we were recently in Canada looking at that, and many of these other places you mentioned. We go to these places. I was in Romania shortly after Ceausescu was, let's say, demoted and killed. And so I was there. I remember what it was like. It was quite a terrible place there under the shadow of communism. And I know many Romanians remember that well. And you're old enough, you remember it very well. And I know you don't want to go back into that. And so how can we help you not go back into that? That was such a terrible condition.
So I very much appreciate to continue to talk about this issue in Romania, which it's definitely could be a precedent for any country, exactly as I said in the early beginning, including by United States as well. And hopefully this pressure from media will, and this pressure, of course, this is the word, will make possible the changement which we are looking for, in a sense, to have the second round of the election and the country to be stable and to have the democracy installed again.
Okay, sir. Unfortunately, I have to go get on an airplane.
Sure.
As I drive to the airport, I'm going to be contacting other people to ask to interview you. And so, because your message needs to get out across the United States, and I'll also reach out to people in Europe as well.
Thank you.
So important.
Thank you. Very much appreciate, Michael. Have a nice trip, and be in touch. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Georgescu.
Thank you. Very much appreciate. Thank you. Bye-bye.